wasn't going to do an intro for this one. However, I'm also finding out that this episode today is about imperfection. I was going to delete the episode and do it again, and I thought, no, I am not going to do it again. It's imperfect. There is some background, almost like a slight fan running. I'm not sure if that is in my computer, which is brand new, it shouldn't be, or if it's an anchor, but I am going to take it as it is, and it's not going to distract from the listening. You may not even notice it. I notice it, but I do hope you'll enjoy the episode anyways, and I will rectify that issue, I hope, for the next episode. Thank you again for listening, and you have a wonderful day. Good afternoon, and welcome to Your Life, Your Way. This is Kathleen McDermott, and I'm very happy to be here with you today. It has been a minute, and I'm hoping that there is some light at the end of this latest tunnel. I hope all has been well with you. Things have been a little off kilter here, and I wanted to create a short episode, a solo episode, and talk with you today about stress. Goodness knows we all have it, and to the extent that we have it and how long we have it, that fight or flight mode that we can get stuck in, it does vary from person to person, but overall across the country, I think we are all experiencing probably more stress than we ever dreamed we would be dealing with. In fact, 73% of people state that stress affects their mental health. 77% of people say it affects their physical health. 80% of people feel stress at work. Gosh, I've been there, done that. We all experience stress. And I have to say, this last, where are we today? Almost the end of April, but the entire month of April, and probably since March 21st, my mom was admitted to the hospital and was there for a few days and was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Have you ever heard of Myasthenia Gravis? This is a whole new ball game. And we have been working to navigate this illness and learn, educate, deal with medications, the ups and downs, the ins and outs. And we're hoping that that hopefully mom will get into a remission here down the road. Going through doctor's visits and medicines and their side effects. That's a whole other ball game. But it has been a ride, and it has been stressful. I think we both are doing our best to communicate and even laugh a bit, because goodness knows I don't know as we laugh enough anymore. As human beings, we don't laugh enough, we don't dance enough, we don't sing enough. I don't care if you can sing or not, we don't sing enough. In the shower or the car, keep singing, keep laughing, and put on the music and dance, because goodness knows we need it. But autoimmune is another common, unfortunate result of stress, heart disease. Stress even affects our memory over time. And I'm not meaning to laugh. I'm laughing at my own personal thought process that it can even make you go gray. And I'm thinking, I'm still getting my hair colored, but I've been seriously thinking of letting it go and go gray. But with all the stress, it may just beat me there. But even though I am a transformational stress and lifestyle management coach, that doesn't mean that I have conquered it all, that I have a life that is just so stress-free, because it isn't true. Life, everything is a practice. It is an absolute practice. But it is so easy for us to get caught up in habits, conditionings. We have a lifetime of conditioning, of thoughts, of feelings, and we ride this roller coaster, this vicious cycle of the thoughts create the feelings feed the thoughts feed the feelings, and back and forth and back and forth. And this conditioning has been a lifetime of conditioning by others, by family, friends, schools, society. and of ourselves. And that's the biggest awakening that we need to come to, is that so much we place on ourselves. And once we understand our role, it really makes a huge difference. I'm not going to get into our role. I don't want this to be a long episode today. And I do apologize for not being here as I was and not doing interviews as I was. I've just needed this time to find my way, to just find my way with this life that my mom and I are in right now. I am blessed to have her be able to live with me and to have this time with her. And we have so many fun adventures. And I know we will have more. This is just a blip on the screen. But I do want to impress upon you that whatever you have going on in your life, find a moment. Find a moment, even if it's a second. Find a moment, find a spot that you can just pause and breathe. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And take a look at where your breath is coming from. Most of us, through most of our day, we are breathing from the upper chest. We need to have that awareness of taking the breath from the belly. Feel it rise up through, all the way up to the base of the neck. And imagine that breath just coming straight up through your head and out. We need to have more oxygen. We need to have more oxygen to our brain, to every cell in our body, every organ, every piece of us, to our toes, to our nose, and above. It is critical. Oxygen. I mean, we can't live without it. But we would certainly live a whole lot better if we had more of it. And the road to calm, I put my phone on airplane, and would you believe it just went off? So I apologize if you heard that. Oxygen breathing, the first awareness of the coming to awareness of how we're not breathing is the place to start. And if you can take a moment just here and there, I used to use red lights. So in fact, sometimes I still do. So when I'm driving and I'm at a red light, I take a moment to pause and just take a breath. Feel that breath rise all the way up and all the way down. Find moments that don't give you more pressure, but you can just pause. And the reason I'm stressing to pause and to take that breath is to just be in that moment, but also it's the awareness. It's the awareness that you've stopped. And every time you pause and you come back to your breath, you're coming back to you, yourself, and you're taking just a moment for the mind, the brain to stop. The brain to just be still for just a moment. For your body to just be still for a moment. For you to quiet the noise. We can't get rid of all the stress in our life, but we can learn to develop ways to have a wellness plan for our nervous system, because we do forget we have all this inside us that we need to take care of. We can also use that breath and awareness and care to do some research. I call it the deep dig in my coaching program, to discover why we have these thoughts and beliefs that we do, these reactions to life that we do. And if we really take an honest look, we didn't just get these yesterday. They don't just happen once and they're gone. We are creatures, that saying, creatures of habit. Well, it's not about just brushing your teeth with the same hand every day. We have underlying subconscious, conscious, whatever you want to call it. We have habits that our bodies have learned. They're conditioned to do over and over. Our mind is conditioned to do over and over. And it just keeps us in this cycle. So if we can do that dig and really understand where all that came from and why it is the way it is, and determine our role in that, that's the biggie. It's really the beginning of saying, okay, I don't want this in my life anymore. I want to get off this roller coaster ride. I want to break these cycles. I want to create a new a new basket of great habits and thoughts and thinking. Will you be perfect? Will you never have another stressful thought? No, but you will have tools. It's about developing tools to help them be less and less and less so that you can have better health. I watch my mom, my poor mom, I watch her deal with this, and God knows she's the strongest woman I know. Actually, there's two women that in my life that they are the strongest women I know. The other one I hope to have on here for an interview down the road. My mom is just incredible, and she's been a real trooper through this, and I know she's been scared and frustrated and maybe a little sad. I know she tries to keep a stiff upper lip for me. We do for each other, but stress did play a role. A lifetime of particular behaviors plays a role, and one illness on top of another can play a role. We really need to take better care of ourselves. We need to, that saying self-care, we talk about self-care. Well, maybe self-care is more than a massage and a pedicure and a manicure and, got my hair done yesterday. God knows that's stress relief. And these are all beautiful things. And we all really need to do those things to take care of ourselves, or at least, find the ones that serve us. But really self-care is about loving ourselves and doing our best for our own health, our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health. We need to take it much more seriously. We cannot continue to run and race through our life and our days of to-do lists and obligations, responsibilities, and these things that think that, my God, if we don't do them, life will be over. That's a chat for another day. Thank you for listening today. I really was torn. Is it time for me to come back and begin? Because it's been a struggle for myself to find my way. I've had to take time for me. I've had to take time to be in my own break of noise and quiet and getting outdoors to be with nature. It's always very calming for me. And to just figure out how best to take care of my mom and myself. So I thank you. I do hope that if you've not listened to my other episodes, some of them are pretty gosh darn good. I mean, gosh, we have Liz Klubba and her Closet Play image. I loved her whole talk about not just our clothing, what we wear, but how we feel, and her life journey as a woman in business. And Jen Phipps with multi-passionate folks versus linear. Great. That's probably one of my favorite topics. It's just so interesting. And so many more that I have out there, and there will be so many more to come. Again, thank you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you listening. And if you think that things that I've said today might help someone in your family or a friend, please don't hesitate to share. You can share the link to them, which is yourlifeyourwaypodcast.com. And if you would like to reach out to me directly, you can email me at yourlifeyourwaypodcast@gmail.com. You can visit my website, KathleenMcD.com. And I've been doing a bit of rebranding, so bear with me there. I think we're almost pretty much done, but maybe a little tweaking here and there. So now I'm at the point where I'm rambling, but I have to say, I do feel better being here and getting a few things off my chest. And my whole point and purpose is to serve and to really help women find their way, because the most important part of making change and recognizing our roles and finding ways that we can bring more peace to ourselves and heal ourselves, we pass that on to our children. And I know I'd much rather pass on healing and tools to help my children than to pass along the stress, otherwise known as the generational curse, as it's becoming, I kind of like that. I think stress can be a generational curse, but please feel free to share. Please feel free to listen on, if you're on Spotify, I'm also on Apple and Google. And if you are listening on Spotify, if you could take a second to follow, subscribe, maybe even leave a rating, because Spotify does like you to listen before you can leave a rating. And on Apple, if you don't have Apple, which I don't, I go to iTunes and I listen to friends' podcasts on iTunes. And you can leave rating and a review there. So only if you feel it's in your heart. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I will also be coming out with some other friends of mine and other folks that I don't know personally, but I really enjoy their podcasts. And they may also be something that you might find interesting. So I will be making a list of those and sharing with you as well. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. I wish you a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. Make it fantastic. Put your feet up, relax, get outdoors, and remember, find a moment to pause and breathe. Namaste.